What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday over here. Bitcoin currently is struggling to get back on top of 27K. Did have a pretty good week this week. Brought up quite a bit of these altcoins. Let's see if this trend will continue into the real test here, which will be about that 28K level. Will Bitcoin just blast through it, or will there be a pullback and also bring quite a bit of these altcoins down with it? That's going to be coming up. We're going to be taking a look into ICP, which is the Internet Computer Token, which is the main topic of this video. Let's see what's going on in this market. What has changed since the last time we have talked about it? Could this coin be actually reversing against its downtrend for the longest time? Going to be taking a look into some key price targets for both the upside and downside, as well as some key resistances and support levels. This price action does need to break in order to go either direction. I'm going to be giving you guys my personal sentiment and opinions on this market later in this video, so make sure to stay around for that. However, none of what I'm saying here is financial advice, of course. I am purely sharing with you guys my personal opinions and speculations. I could very well be wrong. I am not a financial advisor nor an elite trader of any sorts, even though I am a profitable trader who's been able to keep most of my profits during the last bear markets, and I'm looking to crush it here for the next bull cycle. So if you guys feel the same way, if you guys feel pumped, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into the charts here. All right, so we do currently have Bitcoin at about just right underneath 27K here. Did try to break on top of 27K. However, what I'm really looking at here for Bitcoin, what I'm really considering here for Bitcoin is that it's had a pretty good week. Usually the trend for Bitcoin during the week would kind of pass through for the weekend for the altcoins. So for example, if Bitcoin had a pretty good week, I would expect usually Bitcoin to not really move over the weekends, but the altcoins would probably get some bullish price action, right? As we are seeing now. And the opposite is true, usually, okay? That's just based on my own experience and my own observations, okay? Now, Bitcoin here on this 1 hour chart looks like it's forming some type of probably cup and handle here because you have a rounded bottom here, right? Not fully formed, but I'm just taking my best guess on what it could look like. That is a bullish pattern, usually, okay? However, there is still a chance it could break to the downside. Currently, Bitcoin has been able to stay away from this double top pattern here, right? Neckline about 24.7K. It has just been running within this very tight range. Pretty hard to trade, I would say, if you are a beginner trader, because it was like this about late last year. That was pretty hard to trade for me, right? Especially when I was when I was doing proprietary trading, and I really only had a few instruments or a few coins that the firm was actually offering, right? But now it's like, if I'm just doing personal trading, I have a lot more coins I can pick from. So just to make things a little easier for the short term, because I don't think this is I do have long positions on quite a bit of altcoins, but they're losers that I just really have to hold because I didn't get out when I could have. So luckily I did offset some of those losses with profits I've taken with other coins, but it's really hard to hold on to a market like this right now, not unless Bitcoin actually blasts through 32K here, right? Because we're going to have a lot of just ranging price action, which is, man, I mean, that's pretty hard to watch, right? I mean, imagine Bitcoin being down here for a couple of weeks just in this 10% range, kind of, right? But it's able to stay away from this huge breakdown here so far, but still got to keep an eye on it because you're not too far away from that neckline. It's like 10%, right? Now let's take a look into a shorter time frame for Bitcoin here, which is the 4-hour time frame, where Bitcoin has actually broke out of this falling wedge, like 2 weeks ago, right? So 2 weeks ago, it has broke out from this falling wedge. Measure target is going to be about 29.2K area, okay? Measure targets are estimates only, okay? Do your Google searches on what these trading concepts mean, right? Measure targets, falling wedges, double tops, do your Google searches. It's public knowledge. It is free. Don't be lazy. Let's take a look into, so, it has broken out of that. And right now it's looking like it's forming a bigger cup and handle here on this 4-hour time frame. Looks like it's not fully formed, okay? So, Bitcoin looking pretty good for the moment, even though it's in a pretty tight range. Let's take a look into ICP here. Let's see what has changed since last time. I did have to talk about Bitcoin just because, it is the driver of the market. It is important because, if the Bitcoin setup is bad, no matter how good your altcoin setup is, I don't think it's going to go very far at best, right? So ICP here. So we took a look at Bitcoin, right? It looks pretty good for now. Got to keep an eye out on it. Now ICP here, been mentioning this falling wedge pattern here, right? Falling wedges is a pretty common theme amongst quite a bit of these altcoins, right? You're going to see quite a bit of falling wedges, especially formed in the beginning of this year. So ICP has hit a high of about $8, just right above $8 here earlier this year, and then came all the way down to about just below $3 here, right? And then, it actually has it's actually having a pretty good green candle for this week. So let's see what could actually be going on, right? It is still running within this bigger falling wedge pattern. Measure target out of this bigger falling wedge pattern is about $8 area if it breaks out by October 16th that week, right? If it doesn't, then just move the measurement down along the upper trend line there. Like I said, measure targets are estimates only, right? Let's take a look into the daily time frame and see what we could be looking at instead here. On the daily time frame, basically, I mentioned this falling wedge, right? Broke out to the upside. Measure target is out of the smaller falling wedge would be about 350 area, okay? Price action has gone on top of the daily 21 SMA, the blue line here, currently about $3. It hasn't done that for quite some time. So could this time be any different, right? It hasn't gone on top of the daily 21 since the last time it was above it. It was the beginning of August. Okay, so it's been quite some time. The next resistance that you really should be paying attention to here is about the $3.30 area, which is the daily 50 SMA, the gray line here. So that is basically what I'm seeing for ICP. Let's see if this smaller falling wedge would be the turnaround for ICP here. And right now the measured target is not going to get you to the upper trend line of this bigger falling wedge. So, could it reach its measured target and then form another bullish pattern with another measured target? That would take you to the upside, to this upper trend line here. If enough of you guys want to see more of ICP, do hit like, subscribe, comment. I will bring you guys an update if enough of you guys want to see it. But that's basically what I'm seeing on the charts here, right? Let's take a look into some key price levels. This price action does need to break in order to get to the upside. So immediately, like I said, the daily 50 SMA, $3.30 area. Daily 200 SMA, it's going to be about the $4.40 area, the orange line right beneath that upper trend line of that bigger falling wedge pattern. 3-day time frame here, we do have the 3-day 21 SMA, the blue line here, $3.50 area, 3-day 50 SMA, $4 area, 3-day 200 SMA, about the $7 area. Now, you guys can do the same drill for the higher time frames, weekly time frame, monthly time frame. For time's sake and not to bore you guys, I'm gonna save that on this. I mean, I'm gonna just let you guys do that yourselves and get used to identifying key supports and resistances yourselves, right? You can also find other resistances as well, depending on the time frame you guys are trading on based on past trading history. We could do some of that for the support levels, right? So immediate support is going to be your daily 21 SMA. The blue line here, currently about $3, right? If you break below that, I think you are already at all-time lows here, right? Yeah. So if you break back below the daily 21 SMA, that's not going to be looking good. Because that means you have just lost a pretty important support level you have just reclaimed, right? But if you break below that, you're going to be looking at about the $2.80 area, which was the previous all-time low from September 22nd here, okay? And then if you break that, then we're going to come back, if enough of you guys want to see it. And we're going to rechart what's going on here because that is basically the all-time low. I don't have any other estimates for you other than the previous all-time low here based on this chart. So that is basically what I'm seeing. My overall sentiment on this market is still overall bullish at this time. But Bitcoin is going to be running into some pretty strong resistance, in my opinion, coming up at about that 28K level. Right. So something to be keeping an eye out on. You're gonna have your weekly 200 SMA, your weekly 21 SMA. We do have a monthly candle close later today, so it's also very important to be paying attention to where the monthly candles, the monthly moving averages are as well. Okay. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at. I am long on quite a bit of altcoins at the moment. If enough of you guys want to see more of ICP, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, comments. I'll bring you guys an update if enough of you guys want to see it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good weekend. See you guys on my next post.